What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have another trade breakdown, how I made $7,500 trading Google and Nvidia. But this is going to be a little different because this wasn't a day trade. This was actually a swing trade. If you don't know what a swing trade is, it's pretty much where you buy and then sell at a later date. In this case, I bought on Thursday and I sold on Friday. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about Google. As you can see, Google looks to be in some sort of bear flag look right now, right? A bear flag is a bear's continuation pattern. If you don't know what that is, I have a video on it, but pretty much get a move down, gets into this pattern, and then continues on this downtrend. But here's the thing about that. Google has been in this space, in this trend or range, if you will, for a very long time, right? Rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce, rejection, bounce, rejection. And then now I'm looking to play the bounce right here. Now, here's the thing though. The only reason this is on my watch list is because on this bounce, I saw it, I forgot about it. I just moved on to a different stock and I forgot about Google and I missed an amazing move. So I told myself next time this happens, I would not miss this move. Now, this was a little risky because with Google, if you see this S down here, they have a split coming up, a 20-to-1 split, meaning that their current share price is going to be split by 20 times, right? Meaning that their new share price is going to be much lower than it is right now. And usually the day before that happens or a few days before that happens, stocks have a history of having a nice run, a run up before the actual split date. But there's also another thing, the weekends right here and the splits on Monday. So swinging it to next week, is not something I want to do. I don't really want to trade during a split because I guess me personally, I need to study up more on this. I don't know exactly how options work in terms of trading. Oh, I don't know what happens to the option contracts that you are holding if you hold them during a split. So because I don't know that, because I am not the all-knowing, I decided, you know what? I'm just not going to hold any contracts for that split. So here's what I did. I decided to get an expiration of the following day, which is Friday, which is a little risky because if this trade doesn't work out, then there's a 100% chance that I lose this trade, right? If it doesn't do what I think it's going to do, I have no more room for, I have no more time on these contracts. I will have to close these out for a loss. So that's why this was a little risky, right? But I trusted my charts. I was able to make around 66,000 or 6,000 or so on this contract. So check this out. So as you can see, we have, support, and based on this trend alone, you can see, you could probably make the assumption that we're going to bounce again, right? Also, for extra confluence or for extra confirmation, you can see that this candlestick pattern right here, this is a pin bar or hammer, whatever you want to call it, but it signifies a lot of buying pressure. I actually have a candlestick video for beginners coming out pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you like and subscribe. But right, so we have a lot of buying pressure right here at key support, and this is the daily chart. So this is why this is a very strong time frame, right? Very, very believable time frame. And then when we go on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we have two candles, right? Because you get two 4-hour candles per day. You can see that we actually have a second 4-hour candle that's showing some strong buying pressure as well. So that was extra confirmation for me. I was like, okay, look, we may not be all the way down here where we bounced previously, but it looks like we are getting some buyers right now. And also you can see that the RSI looks to be a little oversold. I like to use the RSI on bigger time frames. Now, there's only one tricky part. If you go on the intraday time frames, you can start at the hourly, you will see that Google on Thursday formed what's called a rising wedge. Now, this is a bearish continuation pattern. In any other situation, I would have looked to run put options on Google, because I like rising wedges. And if I see one, I like to play it. It's one of my best chart patterns, right? It's the best, I'm more accurate with the rising wedge pattern or falling wedge pattern than I am with any other pattern. So the fact that I saw this rising wedge, I was like, okay, I see a rising wedge. We aren't all the way down at support yet where we bounced previously, right? There's a chance that this could continue to fall. And this is where understanding multi-time frame analysis comes into play, right? So I see the rising wedge. What's my next move? How do I interpret this? Well, it's easy. When you see something like this, it's important that you take into account the time frame, right? So on the daily time frame, it's very bullish. The daily time frame is very bullish. We're at key support, key daily support. We have a hammer right at support, which is a great candlestick pattern at the bottom of a downtrend. 4 hours showing buying pressure, right? RSI looks like it wants to make a move up, right? My bigger time frames are bullish. Therefore, and because my bigger time frames are bullish, I have to be bullish overall, just because the bigger time frames carry more weight than the smaller time frames. So that helped me make my decision. So even though this was in a rising wedge, I decided to swing this because I felt like the chances of a gap up was very high due to the fact that there's buying pressure on the bigger time frames. And if we go till tomorrow, you got pre-market action, and then there you go. You can see that we made a move up. Let's go on the daily so you can really see it. Look at that candle. Right, so this is Thursday right here, and then you can see we had a gap up on Friday and went as high as 2279, but I sold around 2265. Right, really good trade. I'm not even sure what percentage that was. I think it was close to. It had to be 100% trade. Yeah, that was definitely 100% or over 100%. I have to double back and look, but you can see that we had a really good play, really good trade. Got a gap up. $6,000, around $6,400 overnight, based off of bigger time frame analysis, right? Swing trading, bigger time frames are always the best time frames to look at. So that was a really good trade. Called this one in Blueprint, of course. Free limited access. Click the link down below. Join my Discord for free. But you can see that we absolutely tagged this play. Really good play. Really good play to end the week. So let's move on to Nvidia. Nvidia is a little bit interesting because for weeks and weeks, I've had Nvidia in this downtrend, right? I've had Nvidia in this downtrend triangle look. And that's what it's been for the longest. Right? And I was a little zoomed out, so it's not perfect. But you see it. Let's actually go on a 4 hour. Yeah, so I've had Nvidia in this downtrend, right? You can see that it's been bouncing off this trend line for the longest. Lower just a little bit, and then let me raise it so I can have it exactly how I had it. Right, you can see we've just been bouncing off this trend line for a very long time, for months, right? Since May, we've been bouncing off this trend line, And then you can see that we broke this trend line. And actually, when we broke this trend line, a few weeks ago, I was actually in puts because I noticed a head and shoulders, right? So we have a head and shoulders on this, right? And I hopped in those puts. That was about a 70% return, I remember correctly, right? Nice head and shoulders play. And then after that play, I kind of just, did away with Nvidia, moved on. But you can see that after it broke this trend line, it went right back and started respecting this trend line again, right? So that's what got me interested. And this is not how I drew it. Let's raise it a little bit. Had it about right there, right? You can see as soon as it broke, not long after, it came right back up and then respected the trend line again. That was very, very, very interesting to me. I was like, okay, this is valid. This is maybe another setup that I can swing along with Google. Not only that, but I spotted another trend line that was created right here. And let me actually make this a different color. Right? Look at this. We have a bounce, and we have another bounce, and we have another bounce. So we have 3 bounces on the 4 hour chart, right? That lets us know that this is a valid trend. Let me lower that just a little bit for the hourly. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, 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 right? This was a valid trend. Not only that, right? There's a bunch of confirmations here. Not only that, but because I hadn't looked at this chart in so long, I decided to rechart. And when I recharted, I was able to notice this. Look at that. We broke a triangle. We had a triangle look here, and we broke this pattern. Right? We had a triangle look. We broke that pattern. And I was like, you know what? We may get a nice push for Nvidia tomorrow, along with Google, right? Look at this. Hold on. Let's see if we can raise. I think I had it way up here as well. Look at this. Look at that trend line. Look how respected that trend line has been since around June, right? It's a little under a month. You know, we've respected this trend line. Look at that, rejection, bounce, rejection, 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 bounce, rejection, bounce, and then we broke, right? So I was like, you know what? This looks like a good situation. This looks like a really good situation. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna swing the video calls along with my Google calls, and I'm gonna have a price target of the nearest resistance level, which was about right here. I had it, to be exact, I had it around 159. My trading group will let you know I had it around 159, right? Right, that was my price target. This is my entry point, and then I decided to swing, and that's why. So let's go over it real quick. So we have a downtrend that we respect. We had a head and shoulders. We broke the downtrend, and then we came right back to the trend. And oftentimes I wouldn't validate this trend line again, but the fact that we went right back and bounced directly off those levels again, I was like, you know what? There's an opportunity here, and I gotta take it. So I hopped in calls, swung overnight, and let's see what happened. Let's play it. Boom. Look at that move up. Look at that move up. Beautiful, right? We opened up at 156.57. We entered around 153-ish. I want to say 153-ish, and we exited around 156, 157, somewhere around there. Really, really, really good move. As you can see, it made a move down and then ended up going right back up. And actually, we are actually in swings right now. We re-entered at the end of the day to swing into next week, and I think it's going to be a banger. Right? We've been killing it in Blueprint. We've been absolutely killing it. But yeah, I mean, we had a really good swing. As you can see, like I said, just to go over it one more time, we had a bounce. We were able to make a move, you know, above this trend line resistance that we've had for a very long time. And then we were able to capitalize on the swing overnight with Google. And as you can see right now, we re-entered, like I said, we re-entered at the end of the day. I should have entered down here, honestly, but we re-entered around 157.20, and right now it's sitting right on 158. So we're looking good already for our swing, but we have a whole weekend to go through. Hopefully everything stays strong. And yeah, so and that's what we got. That's how we tagged Nvidia and Google overnight for I want to say Nvidia wasn't 100%. It was probably like it was over 50. It's probably between 60 and 70% return. I have to look again. And Google was definitely a 100%, 110, 120% play. But it was amazing play. Both plays across the board. Look forward to another really good week. That concludes our trade breakdown. Be sure to tap into my Discord, free limited access. Tap in with the team, get right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, show some love. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.